So, ladies and gentlemen, I've had the opportunity to meet and cover and interview numerous celebrities over the years. My wife and I would go to Framingham Megafest or the Rhode Island Comic Con. This guy, when I met him in Rhode Island, boys, what a nice guy. When he heard it was from Canada, he said, "You know what I like about Canada?" He said, "Everybody there plus your beer." I said, "Do you like Alpine or Moosehead?" He said, "Both." That's a big thumbs up. But to hear he passed away today, probably one of the most underrated comedy actors of his generation, but also did some dramatic parts, some horror movies in the 1980s. So George Wendt has passed away. Best known for playing Norm Peterson on the NBC sitcom Cheers for 11 years, which earned him 6 consecutive nominations for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. After Cheers ended in 1993, he started his own sitcom, The George Wendt Show, but it was cancelled after only a few episodes. He also appeared in the films Airplane 2, the sequel, No Small Affair, Fletch, Little Rascals, Space World, Outside Providence, Santa Buddies, and Sandy Wexler. Of course, he had a very dramatic appearance on MASH, where he accidentally swallowed a pool ball. Now, Wendt was born in the Beverly neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. His parents were Loretta Mary, née Howard, and George Robert Wendt, an officer in the Navy and a realtor. He was one of 9 children, with 6 sisters, Nancy, Karen, Mary Ann, Catherine, Loretta, and Marty, as well as 2 brothers, Tom and Paul. His maternal grandfather was photographer Tom Howard, a very talented guy. Wendt was of Irish and 1/4 German descent. Wendt was the uncle of actor and former SNL writer and cast member Jason Sudeikis, his sister Catherine's only son. Now, he graduated from Campion High School in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, or like Dog Prairie. He attended University of Notre Dame until he was expelled after receiving a 0.0 GPA during the first semester of his junior year, reportedly due to challenges associated with living in an off-campus apartment without transportation during the winter. He later attended the Jesuit Rockhurst College in Kansas City, where he graduated a BA in economics in 1971. So you're saying to yourself, how does a person who has a penchant for economics become a big star? Of course, here it comes. Wendt started in the Second City. He's a 75 alumnus, which he discovered shortly after college. A viewing had inspired him to join on his first day of employment. He showed up promptly 11:30 a.m. as was instructed. The woman working there handed him a broom and said, "Welcome to the theater, kid." Thus, his first show in show business was sweeping the floors. Now, Second City, the Chicago version, was also where he met his future wife, Bernadette Burkett, who played Cliff's Halloween date in the 3rd season of Cheers, and later in the series played the voice of Norm's never-seen wife, Vera. Now, when he appeared in the 1980 film My Bodyguard with great acclaim, he eventually had small roles in Taxi, Soap, and MASH. In 1982, Wendt landed his first role as a series regular on the CBS sitcom Making the Grade, which was created by the great Gary David Goldberg. The series was cancelled after 6 eps in spring of that year. Now, from 1982 to 1993, Wendt played the lovable Lauren Peterson in all 270 episodes of Cheers. In most episodes, he would walk in and he said there would be a beer joke, and he said, "Come see my liver," or tell me later on about my liver Sam. Now, as for work on Cheers, he earned 6 Primetime Emmy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. He also played a role in a short-lived spin-off of The Tortellis, in an episode of Wings, and another episode of another Cheers spin-off, Frasier. Now, he did very well on Saturday Night Live. He appeared on season 11, where he shared hosting duties with director Francis Ford Coppola. In 1988, he played a part of Witten in the New Zealand-made film Never Say Die. In the early 90s, he made cameo appearances on several episodes of SNL as Bob Skierski, one of Chicago's superfans, along with cast members Chris Farley, Mike Myers, Robert Schmeigel, and one-time host Joe Mantegna. The Bears. In 1989, Wendt appeared on the eponymous protagonist in the BBC TV dramatization of Eva Gonchalov's novel Oblomov. He also appeared twice in the original British edition of Whose Line Is It Anyway? In 1981, he played a father in Michael Jackson's music video, Black or White. He had also roles in Robert De Niro's 1991 film Guilty by Suspicion, and when Mel Gibson in 1992's Forever Young. Now, following success on Cheers, Wendt starred in the short-lived The George Wendt Show, which featured him as a garage mechanic with a radio show based on the NPR radio show Car Talk. The George Wendt Show aired from March to April 1995. Now, he also starred as a killer in one of the last episodes of the TV series Columbo, portraying a thoroughbred horse owner in the 95-episode Stray Bedfellows. Wendt appeared as himself on Seinfeld, as reprised the character Norm, on a Simpsons episode Fear of Flying, 2 episodes of Family Guy, Road to Rupert and Three Kings, and a Frasier episode Cheerful Goodbyes. In the same year as Frasier's guest appearance, he played a bartender Ted Danson's character in Becker, the inverse of the relationship on Cheers. In 1994, he appeared to film Man of the House as Chet Bronsky, the stepfather of Norma, played by Zachary Brown, and co-starred with Chevy Chase, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and Farrah Fawcett. He also played a role of Old Man Dunphy's closeted homosexual friend Joey in a 1999 film Outside Providence. Now, in early 1997, he joined the cast of the NBC sitcom The Naked Truth of Les Polanski, the new owner of the celebrity tabloid where the series' main characters work. Wendt's role only lasted 13 episodes as The Naked Truth underwent further creative changes for the next season. In 1998, he was one of 3 characters in a London West End production of Art with David Dukes and Stacey Keach. He also later joined the Broadway production of the play, starring alongside former Taxi co-star Judd Hirsch and Joan Norton. Now, in 2003, he appeared as a celebrity fisherman in a music video for Corbry Venti's Ride Industry, along with Rudy Mae Moore of Dolomite fame and the Minutemen's Mike White. He also appeared in episodes of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, as the title character's boss. He was also host of the AEW reality show House of Dreams in 2004, and he was also seen in television screens as part of the cast of Modern Men. Now, numerous roles through the years. He starred in the Broadway musical Hairspray as the character of Ender Turnblad until November 2008. He appeared with his former Cheers co-star John Ratzenberger as a talent scout on Last Comic Standing during season 6. He also briefly appeared as Santa Claus in A Colbert Christmas, the greatest gift of all. He also appeared in the 2008 horror film Brian Loves You, directed by Seth Landau. Now, when he appeared in the production of Hairspray, he reprised his role as Enda from September 8 to October 9, 2010, at the Charlottetown Festival in Prince Edward Island, Canada. Thus, the connection between Moosehead and Alpine Beer. Wendt played Santa in Elf the Musical on Broadway. The show opened November 14, 2010, and ran for 3 months. He also starred in production of Hairspray as Enda Turnblad at the Rainbow Stage in Winnipeg from August 2, 2011 to August 21, 2011. He also guest starred in Hot in Cleveland as Yoder, based on his character Norman Cheers. His first of two scenes took place in an Amish bar, where everyone in the bar yelled Yoder, referencing what the cast of Cheers would yell when he walked in. Now, he's been a big supporter of live theater in Chicago in a poster campaign which included John Mahoney, John Malkovich, Terry Kinney, and Bartha Plimpton. Now, he's also a big advertising draw. He appeared in a TV commercial for State Farm in 2013 as a reprisal of the superfans who encounter Aaron Rodgers. Now, the various Broadway shows, but Tracy Turnblad was a big role for him. He also featured in a production of Hairspray, which had John Waters and the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra in Baltimore in 2016. He also starred as Willie Loman, Death of a Salesman, in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, from October 18th, November 4, 2007. So, ladies and gentlemen, George Wendt loved Canada. He was always coming in, but he would do it under the table. I talked to him a little bit that. I said, when are you doing your next play? Well, he said, you're not from PI, you're from New Brunswick, right? Well, I might be going to St. John. Like, I was always hoping he was going to join theater in New Brunswick or something, because he always liked to work the stage. Like, he loved every role he did. Now, the last big role he had was the season 9 The Masked Singer as Moose, where he mostly sitting during his performance. He was eliminated on 80s Nights alongside Christine Quinn of Selling Sunset fame as Scorpio. Now, married to Bernadette, of course, he had 3 children, and unfortunately he passed away peacefully asleep at home in L.A. on May 20th, 2025. Ironically, at age 76, he died in the 32nd anniversary of the Cheers series finale. So his key roles, starting off, some interesting roles here. You had some horror movies and some dramas. A Wedding, that's the Altman movie. Bronco Billy, My Bodyguard, Somewhere in Time, The Gift of Magi. Jekyll and Hyde Together Again. Airplane 2, the sequel. Young Lust, Dreamscape. Thief of Hearts, No Small Affair. Fletch, House. Gung Ho, Plainclothes, Never Say Die. Cranium Command, Master of Minutes. Guilty by Suspicion, Forever Young, Hostage for a Day. Little Rascals. Space Truckers. Spice World as a film producer. Dennis Menace Strikes Again, Rupert's Land, Outside Providence, While About Harry, Odessa or Bus, My Dinner with Jimmy, King and the Ants, Kids in America, Saturday Morning, Santa Buddies, Granddaddy Daycare, The Climb, Bliss, and last movie he did was Christmas with the Camels as Robert Camel. Now on TV, Heart to Heart, Soap, Taxi, Alice, Making the Grade as and MASH, Private Losh, and Trick or Treatment. He co-starred with Andrew Dice Clay in that episode. Cheers, Garfield on the Town, Likely Stories, Garfield in the Rough, The Ratings Game, The Romance of Betty Boop, St. Elsewhere, The Twilight Zone, revival when he played Barry Schlesinger in the episode The World Next Door, SNL, 2 episodes as host, 9 episodes as guests, Tortelli's, Mickey's 60th Birthday, Magical World of Disney, Wings, Tales from the Crypt, Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Columbo, Bye Bye Birdie, the TV film version, Alien Ventures 1 and 2, The Naked Truth, Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's the British version, of course. Sabrina, Teenage Witch, 6 episodes of Mike Shelby, George Lopez, The Green Grass, The Ghost Whisperer, George the Plumber, Hot in Cleveland, Harry's Law, Kicking It, Portlandia, Comedy Bang Bang, Clipped, Children's Hospital, Bill Nye Saves the World, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, great title, and The Masked Singer, that's his last major reality role. Now, he appeared in numerous key videos, including Ghostbusters as a cameo as himself, Black or White in the Michael Jackson video, Black Gold in the Soul Asylum's video, and Responsibility by the Boss by our great friends MXPX. So, ladies and gentlemen, George Wendt, everybody loved him. There was not one person had a bad word from him. He's a key link. My only regret, he never was on SCTV. Should have been a regular player on Saturday Night Live, but George Wendt, in the short time I spent talking to him, nothing but a very, very beautiful man inside and out. Handsome guy, too, very underrated. And people that look like Norm are very common in Canada, the States. Norm was an everyman. But George Wendt, I don't think he knew how much we loved him. And I'm just saying, hope he's looking down from heaven. He died peacefully, and I hope there's a wet bar and a cold beer waiting for him up home. And my dad had a certain comment about Ted Danson. He couldn't stand him. But when George Wendt would do acting with Ted Danson, he said, well, I can forgive it, because my dad hated Ted Danson and Cheers, but he loved Norm. So it's an interesting situation. I like to see what his colleagues and friends would say, like Rhea Perlman. And it's kind of a shock to a lot of people. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here, what are television tributes or obit tributes, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.